At the end of the day, we're both individuals and we both do what's best for each other and ourselves, Thomas said. We're always going to have each other if it's a possibility. Then, we love playing with each other, but it's not the end of the world if we don't. According to ESPN, 15-year WNBA veteran Dewanna Bonner will sign a one-year deal with the Indiana Fever, reuniting her with former Connecticut Sun coach Stephanie White. The Fever lured White away from Connecticut, which in part sparked a complete rebuild for the Sun, and Indiana will benefit in multiple ways. Bonner, 37, spent the first 10 years of her career with the Phoenix Mercury before moving to Connecticut for 5 seasons. The 6'4" forward guard averages 14.9 points on 41.6% shooting and 6.1 rebounds over her career, and averaged 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists with the Sun in 2024. Bonner is also a strong defensive player, with a personal defensive rating of 92.7 points per 100 possessions. This signing is another bombshell for the Fever, who have proved they are ready to be title contenders as soon as this season. Indiana has re-signed Kelsey Mitchell, signed forward Natasha Howard out of free agency, and traded for Sophie Cunningham in place of Nalissa Smith. Bonner will likely slot into the 3 spot in the Fever's lineup, joining Caitlin Clark, Mitchell, Howard, and Aliyah Boston as starters. According to a report from ESPN, veteran power forward Natasha Howard will sign with the Indiana Fever for the 2025 season, returning to the team that drafted her 10 years ago. Indiana originally picked Howard 5th in the 2015 WNBA draft, and she played 2 seasons for Indiana before she was traded to Minnesota. Howard turned into a defensive juggernaut after she left Indiana, winning Defensive Player of the Year in 2019. This time around, she will immediately bolster Indiana's defensive scheme. Howard will bring a veteran, championship-winning presence to the front court as a 3-time WNBA champion. 2017 with Minnesota, and 18 and 20 with Seattle. Her 6'2" frame and 10 years of experience make her a perfect pair with Fever center Aliyah Boston, who is going into her 3rd year. Howard, who is now 33, is coming off a partial season with the Dallas Wings after sustaining a broken foot in the season opener. That injury kept her out over a month, but it didn't slow her down on the court when she returned. In 27 games last season, Howard averaged 17.6 points and 6.7 rebounds per game, her second-best season points average of her career. This signing also means Howard's former teammate, Satou Sabally, will likely not be coming to the Fever. Sabally, who was cored by Dallas but is actively looking for a trade out of the franchise, was rumored to be interested in the Fever, but took meetings with New York and Phoenix during the free agency negotiation period. Howard, who will command a near-max salary, will likely slot directly into the 4 spot in the Fever's starting lineup. This calls into question what the Fever are planning to do with forward Nalissa Smith, who has been in that spot since she was drafted in 2022. Compared to her first few years on the Fever, Smith had a down year in 2024, averaging 10.6 points and 7.1 rebounds per game. She was relegated to the bench a couple times in favor of Temi Fagbenle, and she was vocal about her disappointment with the lack of playing time. The Fever have a couple options with Smith. They could simply keep her on the roster and ask her to accept less playing time coming off the bench in 2025. They could trade her, or they could agree to a contract buyout. Either way, Smith's role on the team will change dramatically with this signing.